He was only 27 years old. He was a perfectly healthy young man who was undergoing a severe psychological breakdown. But he was healthy. Nothing wrong with his heart, nothing wrong with his lungs.
In May 2017, a New Zealander living in Japan died after being admitted to a psychiatric hospital. His death was covered in local media after strong criticism overseas of Japan's psychiatric treatment practices. Kelly Savage was 27 years old when he died. He was living in Japan, teaching English at primary and secondary schools. Kelly had struggled with depression, and his condition worsened in Japan. When admitted to a psychiatric hospital, he was strapped to a bed. 10 days later, he was found in a state of cardiopulmonary arrest.
I don't understand why he was restrained for 10 days, actually. I don't understand why they made that decision, how they made that decision. It seems, well, it's very cruel.
I think it's disgusting. I think it's a horrible, undignified death for Kelly. I've got no experience of looking after anybody who's mechanically restrained, or it's not even something that I think about what other psychiatrists in New Zealand think about when they're treating people.
Japan's use of restraint has been criticized for being standard practice and lasting much longer than in other developed countries. We decided to learn how people suffering from psychiatric disorders are treated in Kelly's home country, New Zealand. Kelly was raised in Wellington, the capital city. Very sociable, he was surrounded by many good friends.
He was so engaged in relationships and friendships. His sense of humour was classic. And yeah, his laugh, you could always tell when he was around having a laugh.
He has some terrible ideas.
And he'll be like, yeah, guys, this is a great idea. Let's go swimming.
We didn't go in the summer.
No, it was like August.
It was middle
of winter, yeah.
And then at 1 o'clock in the morning, he just gets up and let's go to the beach. And
there was a beach nearby.
Yeah, and everyone was like, no, that's a terrible idea. And then 5 minutes later,
everyone was at the beach.
We're all in the water.
Yeah.
In spite of his cheerful appearance, Kelly began going through bouts of depression in his early 20s. When he was 22, the symptoms got serious enough that he was hospitalized voluntarily.
So this is the Wellington Hospital Mental Health Unit. It's where Kelly was in 2012 when he had his first psychotic break. He came here and he was treated really well. We were part of the whole system. We were brought in and we were allowed to talk to him. He came in and out of his room when he wanted. There was basketball hoop for him to shoot. There was meditation groups, and they had a lot of programs to help people to adjust. And so we just thought this was normal. This was what a mental health unit was supposed to be like around the world.
Kelly recovered and was discharged in just over a month. He seriously wanted to work in Japan, where his elder brother was living full-time.
Kelly really wanted to do what Pat did, so he studied Japanese in high school. He got really interested in Japan, and they both went to Japan to work, and they just loved Japan.
One thing that really drew me and Kelly together was our common love of Japan. He dedicated a lot of his time to studying Japanese and the culture and trying to make friends with Japanese people. And it was always his dream to go over and live in Japan for a while.
本当に顔に出てるんですよ、優しさが。だから本当に誰が来てもこんにちはとか、本当に垣根のない人、人の悪いことを聞いたことないですね。だからなんか例えば嫌味を言ったりね、他人の悪口を言ったり、誰かを傷つけるようなことを言ったり、暴力的なことをしたりとか、そういったことは一切なかったし、まあ彼がそういうことをするっていうのは僕の中では、一番信じられないこと。
In the summer of 2015, Kelly realized his dream and moved to Japan to teach English. Outgoing and entertaining, Kelly was very popular with his students. A little more than a year and a half later, in April 2017, Kelly's symptoms took a turn for the worse. He sought help from his brother Pat, who lived in Yokohama, when their father happened to be visiting.
When he arrived at Pat's place, he, over the course of 2 or 3 days, descended into a terrifying, manic episode. And he became increasingly dangerously disconnected and out of control. He became so agitated and so crazy that Pat and I feared for his safety.
その時一緒に病院まで行って、そっち入院が必要かどうか面接を受けて、そしてそっち入院必要ですって言われて、僕もまあ必要だと思ったんですね。そして一緒にケリーと、上の階に行って、でベッドに寝てもらって、そしていきなりじゃあ拘束しますよって言われて、いやそういう必要はないですよって看護師言ったんですけど、しばらく拘束するからこう6つのセット買ってくださいって言われて、本当にびっくりしました。全然その時は全然暴れてなかったのになんで拘束するの全く分からなかった。
In Japan, use of mechanical restraints is permitted under the Mental Health and Welfare Act only when the doctor decides the person is a danger to him or herself or to others, and there is no alternative approach. This is interpreted liberally. Kelly's torso and limbs were immobilized immediately after admission to the hospital. After being strapped down continuously and heavily sedated for 10 days, his heart stopped beating. Unconscious, Kelly was transferred to a general hospital, where he passed away 7 days later. The family was informed by the heart specialist there that a blood clot may have formed due to prolonged restriction of movement.
最後に会った日に、今日は最後に会う日だよ、もうここに殺されるよって言われたんですけど、実際に最後でした。
日本では何ヶ月も何年も身体拘束が行われ、血栓による心停止が何度も起きていると聞きました。息子は死にましたが、身体拘束は続いています。なぜこんなことが許されるのか。もう何も言うことはありません。
Professor Toshio Hasegawa does research on mechanical restraint usage in Japan. After Kelly's death, he was contacted by many people who underwent mechanical restraint or had family members whose immobilization resulted in emotional trauma and health hazards. Despite a call for reduction of mechanical restraints, usage has doubled over the last decade, and more than 10,000 people are now strapped down in psychiatric hospitals on a given day. In October 2018, Professor Hasegawa visited the hospital in New Zealand where Kelly had received treatment for his previous episode.
日本の、その病院の精神科医が、ケリーさんに対してじゃあそこのベッドに横になってくださいと言ったそうです。そしてすぐにその場で身体拘束をされた。つまり命令に従ってベッドに横になれる人を果たして身体拘束するんでしょうか。
Nobody gets tied to a bed in the hospital. They don't even have equipment in the psychiatric ward for tying people to beds. I've worked in the Wellington region for 10 years now. I've only ever been aware of one person being mechanically restrained. And 10-15 minutes of people holding on to them. Often restrained by people is usually it's much more brief than that. It usually would just be a few minutes.
New Zealand has been working on ways to decrease the use of restraint in mental institutions for over 100 years. This circular was sent by the Medical Inspector General to psychiatric hospitals throughout New Zealand in 1905. It instructs doctors to remove mechanical restraints at least 4 to 5 hours every day. From then on, use of mechanical restraint devices gradually disappeared from hospitals. In the 1970s, psychiatric patients began speaking out about the conditions they endured.
When I was 20, the psychiatrists told me that I would have mood swings for the rest of my life, that I would not be able to work very easily because I would keep getting disrupted by episodes. They told me that I would have to be on medication for the rest of my life. And they also counselled me about not having children in case I passed my defective genes on to them. One of the joys of my life has been proving them wrong on all counts.
The consumer movement in New Zealand really was through the 70s and 80s. People getting together and saying the services are not helping. In fact, sometimes they're hurting.
There was a lot of internal work going on within the profession. And the College of Psychiatrists in New Zealand, I mean, the meetings I was at and was involved in were very much pushing for change.
When a person is really letting off, I really like to sit and talk to them and say, what is it that you're so upset about? Tell me about it. And they'll just say, oh, F off. And so I would just, sit there for a wee while and not take any interest in them. And then 9 times out of 10, they'll just start rambling on anyway. And say, oh, okay, is that right? Yep. Oh, where did that come from? And before they know it, they're telling me what it is that they're upset about.
Psychiatric hospitals with high bed capacity were closed down one by one starting in the 1980s, making way for comprehensive mental health care services in the local community. Wellington has a population of approximately 213,000. For the entire city, there are only 48 hospital beds for psychiatric inpatients. New Zealand's procedure for people going through a crisis is as follows. When someone needs urgent help, a crisis resolution service team comprised of psychiatrists and mental health care specialists assesses the person's condition. The 10% deemed to be in a life-threatening situation are sent to the general hospital. The remaining 90% are evaluated by a local team of professionals and receive appropriate care at a small-scale facility or at home. Hospitalization concentrates on recovery so that patients can be transferred to community services as soon as possible. In a crisis situation, specially trained staff use de-escalation techniques to calm the person down.
Hello, Donna. What? I've come for lunch as we've organised.
Right. Well, I don't want you here today. I want to hurt somebody. I'm just so angry.
De-escalation is using the relationship to calm a very agitated person. We have to keep ourselves safe, but then in relationship, and then reflecting to the person their emotions, and reflecting again and again until they say something like, "You've got it, I'm really angry." And then we can start talking about what they're angry about all the time, bringing the emotional tone down. The role of the professional in mental health support has changed significantly with the community services. It is much more one of partnership, of helping the person understand what has happened to them, make sense of the illness, and work out what they have to do to stay well and to work well in life for their life to be good for them.
Doctors are no longer God. And the health system no longer. I can think back to the days where the psychiatrist sat in the room, smoked, and was just thrilled. Now we sit down, we include the family. You know, we realise that our job is to help the person get the best life, develop the best relationship for themselves.
The line between treatment and mistreatment for me is consent. So if someone says, I want this, and they are fully informed of the risks and benefits, then that is treatment. If they are forced to take it, or they're not informed of the risks and benefits, that easily becomes mistreatment.
What are community services like that take in patients with acute symptoms?
Actually, you want the criteria?
One alternative to hospitalization is piripono. When Kelly's behavior before hospitalization in Japan was described, we were told there was a good chance someone with his symptoms would have been accepted at piripono.
The uniqueness of piripono here, this recovery service, is that we only have 5 people staying at any given time, and we have a ratio of staff with 2 to 5 every day. We also have a nurse on for 12 hours a day, as well as behind-the-scenes manager like myself.
At the core of piripono services is peer support. People who have experienced psychiatric disorders themselves work as support staff, as equals, to help the guests recover. Brooke Gallagher, who works here as a nurse, once spent time at the facility.
I've been in several hospitals since my diagnosis 18 years ago, and I've often run away from hospitals and been brought back by police, or taking taxis to home or someone else's place just because I didn't want to be there. And coming to Piripono was so different because I had a choice to be here. No one was saying, you must stay. No one was locking me up. No one was giving me medication when I didn't want it. When I left Piripono, I was really interested in coming to work here. And about 4 months later, I put an application in, and they were very happy to employ me.
what we're doing is
私たちがしている
treating
の
people
は
as
人として
a
扱
human.
うということです。
And that's all that
治
the
療は
treatment
ただ
is
彼らと
is
話をし
talking
て
to somebody
彼らの考えを理解する
and
ことなのです。
acknowledging their point of view. And
私は
not
そ
saying
れ
that
が
it's
正しい
right.
とか間違いだという
It's not
立
for me
場
to
に
say
は
that
あり
it
ま
is
せん。
right or wrong. But to say,
あな
I
たの
hear
言っ
what
ている
you,
ことはわかるよ。
I hear
そ
what
れ
you're
は大
saying.
変だねというだけなんです。
And it sounds really tough.
Say, for example, if a person's hearing voices, we say, you know, what kind of voices are you hearing? Are they male? Are they female? Are they kind voices? Or are they not so kind voices? If someone's, say, hearing voices and it's telling them to hurt themselves, we actually involve them. We really acknowledge that that's what is so real for them in that moment. And we talk about it. We explore what's going on for them. And look, we've got options here. You can work with us and allow peer support to work next to you to try and distract you or to just, you know, keep you company through that moment. Or do we need to go more?
When the peers are working alongside guests and having engaging conversations, because they come from their own lived experience, straight away that breaks down barriers and forms a trustful relationship. And then due to that, an intentional conversation can occur about really what's going on for the person, and they can start seeing where things have come from and repeated patterns.
I've supported a lot of ex-gang members and things like that, so I work with a lot of men. Most people will go, oh gosh, you're a woman, you couldn't possibly do that. I have no problem doing it because I treat them as a human.
You know, I grew up at an early age, just knowing drugs and fighting and just everything else that goes with gang culture. And I was addicted to heroin, morphine, and anything else under the sun. This is where I used to put all the needles of the heroin and the morphine into myself. And like I said, I've been clean for now about 22, 23 years. I still struggle with issues relating to that, but I've come a long way from where I was. And I got introduced to Piripunu here. He is a peer support worker. I'm here to come alongside these ones that have been walking the walk that I once walked, and to come alongside with them and together walk with their journey together.
Often, you know, we don't need to call the police or an ambulance. We are able to de-escalate the situation mainly just by talking. I've been here for 4 years and have seen a lot of people. And I think we've had one situation where the person has been physically violent, but not to staff. Maybe to property, not to staff.
This is TIPO, a national research centre that works on improvement of New Zealand's mental health care services. Professor Hasegawa visited them as part of his research on the use of restraints. Unlike Japan, New Zealand no longer uses mechanical restraint. In fact, even briefly holding a patient is considered to be restraint. And TEPO's goal is to eradicate all restraint and seclusion by the year 2020.
One of the things we've supported to try and create consistency, least damage, I guess, is what we call safe practice and effective communication training, which means each DHB gets the same training which is concentrated on being more effectively engaging and communicating, and has a limited restraint hold part of it, which does not include pain holds or prone holds.
身体拘束が増えている理由の一つに、僕の推測では急性期病棟、患者さんじゃなくて急性期の病棟が増えて、その急性期の病棟の中で最初にまず身体拘束が入るところがすごく日本中に広まってるんですよ。でその急性期をそれやってる人たちは最初に身体拘束をしてあげた方が早く退院できるんだっていうふうに彼らは言うんですよ。それは考えられないですか？
その裏にあるエビデンスを疑いますね。私もニュージーランドでも拘束や隔離は良いものだという強い信念がありました。私たちは時間をかけてエビデンスを示し、学会での講演や出版を通して一生懸命努力してきました。嬉しいのは、この10年で仮に隔離や拘束をされた場合、それは医療サービスの失敗と言われるようになったことです。治療ではないんです。
Recovery and mental health was stimulated by the consumer movement, both locally and internationally. It looks at a different outcome for people with mental illness than what the professional services have been offering. It looks at how people can get better when they're told that they can't.
Treat people with respect, treat people with dignity, work individually, give people information, have the
most important aspect of personal recovery is hope. About regaining hope and regaining meaning and purpose in life.
Two years after Kelly's death, his family and friends still feel a sense of loss.
It wouldn't have happened anywhere else in the world. Nowhere in the world would you be tied up for so long. And for that to happen in the country that he had dedicated so much love to, it really felt like he had just been betrayed.
It just shouldn't have happened to him or anyone. Because he had so much potential, he was just beginning his life.
In ニュージーランドの社会には、障害があってもなくても一人一人の尊厳を大切にするという考え方があるように思います。このような発想が根本にあれば、人が人を縛る、つまり身体拘束をするという発想は出てこないんです。
I think it's disgusting.
腹立たしいです。
I think it's a horrible, undignified death for Kaylee. It's
私もひどく傷ついています。
It's something that's hurt me more than I can't imagine what you kind of like your mouth must be living with.
想像を絶します。
Kel, hope you like your flowers. Birds are singing. We're not gonna let anybody get away with this. Anybody else. Hope you like what we're doing for you. Love you, Kel.